El 9 de octubre de 1984 a las 7:20 de la mañana, en el programa mañanero Good Morning Britain, conducido por Noel Edmonds y Jay Irving de la cadena TVM, hicieron una entrevista a dos de las personalidades más importantes de la serie, el reverendo Awdry y Ringo Starr. En la misma fecha, a las 12 de la tarde, sería el debut televisivo, junto a otra emisión programada para las 16 p.m. Mediante preguntas simples aunque interesantes, acompañado del humor cómico de Ringo, podemos conocer un poco más sobre cómo se hizo la primera temporada, y algunos datos de la vida de ambos involucrados. Como advertencia, les tengo que comentar que la entrevista no está completa, y que corté algunas partes de la misma por no ser relevantes a tomas. También, en algunas líneas, coloqué un paréntesis con un número dentro, con motivo de informarles de un tema que no se entiende a simple vista. En la descripción van a encontrar las correspondientes anotaciones junto a la información. Cuando aparezcan, les recomiendo que pausen el video, lean la nota y luego reanuden. Sin más, acomódense y disfruten.
Hello there, you're watching TVAM. Now, how many of you can count Thomas, Gordon, Henry and Edward amongst your childhood friends? Well, I refer, of course, to the famous railway series of children's stories. Tonight, Thomas the Tank Engine and friends chuff their way onto our screens in the start of a new live-action animated series narrated by none other than Ringo Starr, who, of course, will be joining us very soon. But the original stories were written by the Reverend WILBERT Awdry, who we're delighted to have in the studio. Good morning to you, Reverend. I must say, the book's absolutely delightful. And they've all got these wonderful Clive Sprong illustrations. And
you've got a first off.
This is the
copy.
This is the new book, isn't it?
I haven't had my complimentary copies yet.
Here you are now.
I must say, reading through the books, they always give you a tremendous sense of nostalgia for a sort of England that's past now. How long ago was it that you actually wrote them?
Well, they were first published in 1945, but I'd written them in 1943.
And children obviously still enjoy reading them now.
The first book, 3 railway engines.
Yes. And what prompted you to actually write them in the first place?
I've been answering that question for the last 40 years.
Do you want to do it again?
You should get it right this time, then.
When my son, aged 3, had measles,
yes.
He had to be kept amused.
Yes.
It was just as simple as that.
And isn't it right that all the engines are actually based on friends of your son, on boys that you knew?
Oh, no, oh, no. Edward and Henry were names that just came out of my head.
Yes. Well, I know that we've got a clip of the series, which you've obviously been very closely involved with. Let's have a look at the clip, which is from one of the forthcoming episodes of Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, and it's coming up any second now. And, of course, narrated by Ringo Starr. Fantastic. How did you get Ringo involved in it?
Well, that was Britt Allcroft, not me.
That's the producer?
Yes.
Is it right that he actually heard his voice on the television or something and didn't realise who it was?
I wouldn't know.
Yes. What do you think of him as Thomas? Is he how you imagined him to be?
Well, he's not Thomas. He's reading the stories.
Yes.
And I like him very much.
Great. What about, have you any ambitions to write any more? Because I know you
No, I finished.
Yes.
My son has taken over now.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But he's actually writing stories?
Yes. He's done 2. Really Useful Engines, which was number 27. And James and the Diesel Engines, number 28. And he's got number 29 in preparation.
I bet you never thought it would take off like this when you first wrote these stories in 1943.
I got no idea at all. I just told them to amuse a sick child.
Mm-hmm. And did you write them down, before you told them, or did you just make them up as you went along and then suddenly think, well, I want to write these down?
Well, they evolved by question and answer. The first story, Edward's Day Outs. See, we'd exhausted all the entertainment value of nursery rhymes, except 2. One was early in the morning down at the station, all little engines standing in a row. And you know how it goes. There'd be a delighted chorus at the end.
Yes.
Puff, puff, chuff, chuff, off we go. So I just, for fun, I drew some engines standing in a row. Now, there was a blank with their smoke box, and it was natural to fill the blank in with faces.
Yeah.
I'll have to stop you there, but I find absolutely riveting. We're on the right track, but we must move on in a moment. Can we chat again later on?
Yes.
Thank you very much indeed, because we're moving on to something that children also love, because it's Popeye time.
Hello, now it's my pleasure to introduce you to someone who could truly be described as part of the greatest ever rock legend. He's Ringo Starr, originally one of the Fab Four, of course, no less, and he's also now the voice behind the pictures in a new TV series of the Thomas the Tank Engine stories. And with him also is the author and creator of those works. I wonder if you could tell us, Ringo, the story behind how you actually got involved with it.
How I got involved, I was the lady who put it together, Britt Allcroft, came to the house one day and she said she had this idea for me to narrate these books. Sorry. And just trying to liven myself up, folks. And I'd never read the books as a child. I was probably one of the few children who was deprived of them. And I'm more of a Beano man. And I read the books and I thought they were fabulous. You know, I thought they were really good books. And also the drawings in the book, the style of them I loved. And she convinced me that, you know, they were going to be animated in that style. You know, they weren't going to make them cheap looking. So I thought it'd be a nice thing for me to do, really.
And are you pleased with the end product?
I'm real pleased with the end product.
Wilbert
If they
Awdry,
ever
what do you make of him? Do you think he's done a good job?
Well, I think Ringo's done an excellent job.
Your words in my mouth, we could go anywhere.
Well, it's a good departure for you, you know, it makes a nice change, doesn't it, to do something
Well,
like this?
I've always sort of felt I've got on with kids. You know, I like kids. I used to be one. You know, the old
When you were younger, was that?
Oh, yeah, a little younger than this.
We've got a clip of it, actually,
Oh,
coming
I'd
up.
love to see it.
Have you not actually seen it yet?
I haven't seen it finished with the full mix, though we keep making sort of dates for me to go down and see it. And I never do.
Wonderful.
There you go.
Not bad at all.
It looks terrific.
I wish I was in it more than just the voice.
Is it right that the producer actually said that he did a better version than John Gielgud, Reverend?
Well, I wouldn't presume to criticise John Gielgud.
It's not a criticism. It's just praise of Ringo, isn't it?
Right. Not a
Well,
bad
she'd say
compliment.
anything to get me to do it.
Do you find it actually difficult, Ringo, to find something sort of new boundaries to cross over? Because you've done so much, achieved so much.
Yes, I know, it's difficult. Getting out of bed's a problem these days. Not really.
You've been doing all this acting recently. We've
All
seen you
this
on the
acting,
screens.
yes. 4 minutes.
When's it actually go out, Ringo?
Goes out at 12 this afternoon. I hope all your mums will get your kids around the telly and watch it.
And you're doing the
And
narration
4
for
o'clock,
it.
actually. I do the narration and the Reverend wrote it.
Wonderful.
And Clearwater made it all visible.
Yes. Did it take you ages to actually record it, or was it one of those things you just
No, it
dashed in
took
and...
about 8 days. We used to do about 4 or 5 a day, and then we had to redo 4 of them because the tone of your voice in the morning to, you know, when you've got rolling changes.
I know
So
just
can
what you
hear
mean.
this, hello, kiddies, it's Uncle Rich here. And so we did 4 again. So it took about 8 days.
Yeah, and we saw a clip of it earlier, and the animations look superb. Very, very
fabulous.
close to the Clive Spong illustrations on the original books, aren't
Yes,
they?
which the Rev...
Well, Clive Spong didn't do the
Well, the original,
illustration. Yes.
No.
We ran through 4 artists.
Yes.
Did you?
Well, they're absolutely
Yes.
smashing anyway.
With Clive Spong, I've got a great admiration for
Yes.
his pictures.
Well, we'll be chatting to both of you later, but now...
Oh, while I'm presenting things, I must just give these egg cups to Ringo and the Reverend Audrey. Here we are.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very
Egg
much.
cup. It's made your day. It's worth coming, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Again, it gives me
Next
great
time we
pleasure.
get the egg. For me to narrate these books. Sorry.